I've been on a huge Dragon Ball kick recently. I just watched all of Dragon Ball Super, the Broly film, and I just bought my ticket to see Superhero when it comes out in theaters. I grew up playing a lot of fighting games, and it's in my top 3 favorite genres of gaming. So when it comes to Dragon Ball, there is a huge variety of fighting games this franchise has provided over the years. I especially grew up enjoying the Budokai series, but those were a different style compared to what we are going to be reviewing today, which is a 2D 3v3 tag team fighting game. Very different compared to the one-on-one fighting games that the franchise was used to pumping out. Unless I missed something. I didn't play every single Dragon Ball game ever released, but nonetheless, Dragon Ball FighterZ was released in January of 2018, which means that it was released 2 months before Super ended in Japan in March, and 21 months before the English dub version ended in America. So which means that if you were just keeping up with the dubbed anime, then the game would have released right at the beginning of the Goku Black saga. So this game is now 4 years old going on 5, and it's still $60 for a digital copy. Now this is why I shop at places like G2A, because I got the Ultimate Edition for like 25 bucks. Steam can suck my dick. Now I just recently bought this game like a month ago and just started putting in a lot of hours into it. So when I saw that the game had a lot of these characters to choose from, I got really excited to be able to try them all out. You know, considering I bought the Ultimate Edition. But nope, it only comes with the first Fighter Pass. This is fucking stupid. So you're telling me that if I was a goddamn idiot and decided to spend $109 on the Ultimate Edition, and I am still not getting everything that is being advertised for the video game, and you want to charge me an additional $45 for the other 2 Fighter Passes, and Android 21 is not even included in all that, which then increases that total to $50 for extra content that is not in the Ultimate Edition. Are you fucking kidding me? How much money do you really want to suck out of us? So all in all, this game would cost up to close of $160. Go fuck yourself. No video game should ever be this expensive. So now with that out of the way, how is the game? Is it a worthy fighting game? To put it simply, yes. Dragon Ball FighterZ is an amazing fighting game and truly stands out against the rest of the major titles that are out there like Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter. Now, the tag team fighting aspect certainly isn't unique and has been done before in the past, but FighterZ takes that concept and turns it up by 1,000. I'll get to how I feel about the gameplay in a bit. I want to talk about the story mode first. Now, the story of the game takes place after the events of Battle of the Gods and Resurrection F, but nothing else after those events. The story is about a new android that is here to create havoc, and by doing so decides to send energy waves into the atmosphere that cuts all the energy from all powerful life forces on Earth. This would allow the enemy to turn them into candy and eat them to absorb their life force and make them even more powerful. This enemy being Android 21. The story for this game is really enjoyable, and I like that it's a new one and not a retelling of old stories like the other video games did in the franchise. Android 21 is a cool villain. I like the way they look and the way they act. However, it is a bit odd that we would get another villain that turns people into candy and eats them, but whatever. Throughout the story, you are playing through the roles of a lot of the iconic characters of the franchise through the means of what is called linking. Linking is what happens when the soul of an Earthling attaches itself to a character to use their powers and body to fight. The very thing that is linking to all these characters is you, the player, which I think is a great way to tell the story because it makes you feel like you are a part of this journey with all of your favorite characters. The story mode has 3 different arcs, and they are all different from one another with some similarities. You have the Super Warrior arc, the Enemy Warrior arc, and the Android 21 arc. I personally like the Enemy Warrior arc myself, following Android 21 and then the Super Warriors. When you start the game, you have to start the Warrior arc first, and because it's the beginning of the game, it puts you through hundreds of tutorials and there is no way to turn them off even if you know how to play the game. It just gets in the way so much, and I have no incentive to ever revisit it because of that. The Enemy arc is fun because you get to see the story from the villain's perspective. There are moments in the cutscenes that allow you to say certain things, but they don't really have a dramatic effect on the plot though. Throughout the arcs, you will be going through maps to fight off evil clones of the fighters you will be playing as. On the way, you will level up your fighters and gain money and earn rewards to utilize during fights, like health regeneration, attack power, defense, and more. After a while though, from fighting the same opponents over and over again, it can be a bit repetitive. Although there are cool and funny moments that, depending on who you have on your team of fighters, will start off with a cutscene with them talking before the fight. I think this is awesome because it shows conversations with characters that you didn't think would ever talk to each other again from the anime. However, sometimes with the music, as much as I love the soundtrack, it can get to a point where it overpowers the actual dialogue. So if there wasn't subtitles, I wouldn't know a damn thing that these guys were saying at certain moments. Now, when it comes to the playable fighters in the game, it has a great selection. I just miss the days of actually unlocking like half of your roster through completing challenges. Now, you can unlock Super Saiyan Blue Goku and Vegeta if you accumulate a certain amount of money, and Android 21 if you beat all the story arcs, but that's it. Everything else is either already available for you or behind a paywall. I hate the way gaming has turned out because of this. It's such a disappointment, and it's a goddamn cancer. Could you imagine if Budokai Tenkaichi 3 was released today? With the amount of fighters it had in that game, there would be like 10 DLC packs. Hell nah, bro. Now, how do I feel about the actual gameplay? Well, Dragon Ball FighterZ is a fighting game that takes the franchise into a much more competitive realm with the idea that casual players can enjoy also. Now, is that truly the case? Yes and no. I say that because I classify myself as a casual gamer. Yes, I have a YouTube channel that I dedicate time to reviewing and talking about video games, but that spans across multiple genres and franchises. I can never really dedicate my time to being the best at one thing. I wish I could, but then that would mean I would never be able to talk about anything else. So when it comes to fighting games in particular, I will never in my life want to play online against other players because I just have no fun playing as a casual when people dedicate so much of their time to being great at this game. And I'm not saying that is a bad thing, none whatsoever. I am just talking about my personal experience with how I feel about playing online and fighting games. It's different when I have friends over and play with them because that has a different vibe. We are there to chill and have fun. I feel like everyone online feels like they're at a goddamn Evo tournament. Now, while I can say just don't play online, play against the computer, I feel like the AI is trying to get you ready for online matches. It's like putting you through boot camp. I get a game is meant to be challenging, but when the AI puts you into a corner without any way of being able to get out of it, like you might as well just put the controller down and walk away and suffer through this ass whooping because you haven't dedicated hundreds of hours to get good. And here's the thing. I have reviewed all 3 of the modern Mortal Kombat games and I loved every single one of them. Do they have ridiculous difficulty spikes also? You are damn right they do. But at least in those games, I've never been put into a position where I feel like I didn't feel like I was at a loss because I didn't spend so much time learning all the ins and outs on how to be one of the best players at this game. And not once did those games ever make me scream in rage. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I legit lost my voice from certain times I would scream at how pissed I was getting. Kronika and Shao Kahn would never. Now I know what it is. I know why this game feels so much different for me and why I was getting so frustrated at points. It's because of 2 things. One is primarily the defense system. I hate the idea of pressing back on the analog or D-pad to block. Now I know this is a staple for quite a few fighting games like Street Fighter, but I am just so used to pressing a dedicated block button to defend myself. It's just not for me. I don't like it. 2, the 3v3 tag team style fighting. There are so many variations and combos you can perform with this mechanic and I am here all for it. However, for me, I'm just so much more used to the idea of one-on-one fighting. And not to burst anyone's bubble here, but so does the anime. Not all the time, but at least majority of the show has the fights between 2 people. So it's not like I'm contradicting myself here because I am talking about the same franchise here. But I know it doesn't hold any weight here because it's a video game. I just thought it would be funny to point that out. But because of the different style this game presents and the way the mechanics work, it can create some very intense and fast-paced gameplay, which can be fun, but also very overwhelming at points because if you are on the receiving end of an ass kicking, you're just going to be scatterbrained as to what to be able to do, and that is if you can do anything. Now here's the thing. I know what the comment section's already gonna look like. You just hate it because you suck, or go back to Mortal Kombat, clearly this game just isn't for you. But the thing is, I was able to see my progression on skill the more and more I play it, so it definitely goes back to the old saying that practice just makes perfect. So I obviously could get a lot better at this game if I just dedicated more time to playing it and getting better and learning the game mechanics in order to do so. But as I mentioned earlier, I don't really have the privilege to be able to do that because of my commitment to this channel to playing other video games. I just feel like this game presents itself as welcoming to casuals and newer players alike, but once you really dive into it, you learn quickly that either you adapt or you die. Now, this game is great for people that love to play competitively. There is an option in the game where you can just sit and spectate people's matches, and it is some of the most entertaining things to behold. The amount of skill and precision some of these players is amazing, and I wish I could get to that point, and I commend you all that you have that type of skill. I do love the arcade mode where you play against a ladder of fighters, and if you have a bunch of friends over, you got a tournament mode that you can play on as well. The online experience in terms of being able to customize your gamer card or your avatar to show off how many matches you've played on online, and the fact that I keep getting paired up with people that have hundreds of matches under their belt proves to me that this game just shows no mercy. At the end of the day, however, I do acknowledge how good the game is. Don't take what I am saying about my personal experience that I am saying that this game is bad, because I am not saying that. Competitive players are going to and already have a blast with this game. It is certainly a game where newcomers and casuals can enjoy too if you play on lower difficulty settings, but don't overstay your welcome unless you are going to improve your skill over time. Now, for the players online who have been whooping my ass, the people who take fighting games very seriously, I commend your talent and skill, and hopefully one day I can dedicate more time to being just as good as you guys. Everyone, my name is Pedro Ordonez, also known as GameLike7. Please subscribe, comment, like, thumbs up, do whatever you guys can to support this channel. I am still on this Dragon Ball kick, so expect a lot more content like this in the near future. Let me know which Dragon Ball series got you into the franchise. Was it the OG series, DBZ, GT, or Super? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below, and I will see you guys next time in my next video. Peace out.